Hello there, Internet, and welcome back to the Ensemble review or post show, your weekly AEW post show discussion, soapbox, whatever you want to call it, because we do everything when it comes to this. But my name is Mikey, El Jefe of BC WrestlePod. Of course, I am joined always by Mr. Berdito himself, Benny the Bear. And yeah, we were just here a couple days ago on Thursdays to talk about Grand Slam Mexico and a Collision. And now we're back to our regular schedule Tuesdays, and we got another Dynamite and Collision to talk about. We are officially 2 weeks out from Wembley's show. Yeah.
Oh, we are on the road to Wembley. I don't really like saying it like that. We're moving down the tracks towards Wembley. No. Greetings and salutations. Let's rock and roll.
100%. And I'm just gonna put this disclaimer out there. We love AEW. We truly do. However, we are gonna talk about some things that we have questions on and we want to see better for certain things happening going into Wembley. Again, putting the disclaimer out there. If you disagree but would like to have a conversation with us, we welcome it. But if you're gonna be a dick, you're gonna get blocked. I'm just putting it out there right now. Please don't be a dick because please don't because we want to have open conversations with y'all. And honestly, not to pull the curtain back a little bit, but that's how Betty and I met. We had multiple discussions about wrestling prior to him coming on and being a host for us. And he's cool. He's good peeps. He knows his stuff. Be like Benny. Don't be a dick.
We try. Yes, but don't be a dick.
Like, don't be a dick. That is the message of this episode. Hashtag don't be a dick. Alrighty. I've taken it up of the airtime. I just want to jump into it. If you've been watching us long enough, y'all already know all the shenanigans, the social medias, all that. Let's get into this. So we are back once again, just covering regular Dynamite after Grand Slam Mexico from our Thursday show last week. And we have lots to discuss. Now, Las Vegas, I'm only going to say this here and I'm not going to bring it up too much again. Like you on the list. We're going to have to rethink some things. You were okay for some of this, but I was just like, I know the Palms is not the most ideal venue, trust me. But y'all were weird this episode. I'm sorry. Y'all were weird for Dynamite and Collision.
It's almost like the same thing we had in Vegas this past WrestleMania weekend, right? All those shows at the Palm, like the TJPW, MLP, whatever, right? That all those crowds just sat on their hands pretty much through the entire show. And so did this crowd.
Yeah. I don't know, Vegas. Like, usually you could do pretty good. I have seen you do pretty good, but not this night. And I was a little sad for y'all because you got some fun stuff. But that's all I'll say to this. But let's get into it. We kick Dynamite off, of course, by hearing from Mr. Will Ospreay himself. This is a very lengthy segment. A lot of things went down. So to kind of condense it, and then we'll just talk about it. Ospreay cuts a promo, going into Wembley, talking about also, his Mexican street fight against Mark Davis. Then Don Callis showed his bald head in this. He and Will go back and forth. Very lengthful promo from Don Callis. Don Callis family attacks. The numbers are too much for Will. Kenneth Omega comes in for the save. Kenneth Omega cuts a promo on Will. And then that is how this opening segment went. I was like, this was a lot of moving parts for like a 15, 20-minute segment that could have been cut down to 10, maybe.
Yeah, definitely. But I liked the majority of this because bless Osprey. Like we all know that I'm not gonna know that, but sometimes he works things weirdly, right? He like jumps around a lot. He's a little bit all over the place, and so does Omega, right? But
we love Will Ospreay and his ADHD-ness, but yeah.
like I'm here for it, right? That's why I like Will. He's like the real person. Like he's like turned up, but whatever. One thing I really liked about this was the Don Callis segment was because Don Callis pretty much explained everything that happened in their first two matches, right? So like they had touched on it last week in the promo between Ospreay and Omega, but this one was like, no, here's the whole story. And then, of course, Don Callis, being Don Callis, had to send in his goons. And then apparently Rio had mailed Omega the steel pipe, and Omega ran out with the steel pipe and fought off the Don Callis family. Thank God Rio got the postage right.
I have to agree with you. Like, this was a lengthy segment, but the promos are The promos were on point for sure, but I was just like, y'all, we gotta cut these down because as much as I am excited for the ultimate goal of this match at Wembley, we gotta cut some things. We gotta cut some things. I was just like, it's not the content that I'm bad at, but I don't know if I'm willing to sit through 15-minute promos that are kind of similar in coat of paint, if that makes sense. But I still love it. Right now, I'm still here for it. We're gonna see how I feel in the next 2 weeks as we get closer to Wembley. Be like, let's just get this over with.
Yeah. I don't know. I like the fact that Omega was like little broing Osprey as usual, you know, and
I would, yeah.
Osprey's just like I'm having enough of you, man.
See, I like it when Kenny leans into the nana nana boo boo type of heel nonsense that he does, because it is. I was like, oh, you're really little brothering him, but it's not annoying, and I love you for it. Kenny seems to have more fun when he's going nana nana boo boo. But again, I'm excited for this match nonetheless. But that is how we open things up, and we would have some interesting developments when it comes to Osprey come Collision that we're gonna discuss. But right now, our first match to open up Dynamite officially is for the number 2 spot in the Casino Gauntlet match at All In. Of course, three-way dance between Maxwell Jacob Freeman, the speediest of balls, Speedball Mike Bailey, and of course, the love child of HBK and Mama Wayne, Mr. Nicholas Wayne. I know he's always on the losing end, but can I just say I love seeing Nick Wayne get TV time. Like, that's all I ever wanted. And I'm kinda happy that he's getting this TV time. I know he's always constantly on the losing end since getting this TV time, but honestly, I am enjoying Nick Wayne. I have missed Nick Wayne on my television screen on AEW TV. So, realistically, this match was really between Speedball and Nick because MJF is still dealing with some lingering injuries. So, MJF was kind of lurking about, but it also plays great into Max's character. He's gonna be an opportunist and do and take advantage when need be. Speedball, I love you. The mullet was the downfall in this match. I was like, and I loved it. Max wins, so he will be entering at number 2 in the gauntlet match at All In, which means that him and Andrade are starting out the match in 2 weeks. But yeah, this was fun. This was a fun television match. I really enjoyed it. So, what are my thoughts?
Yeah, this match was amazing. I was not a fan of MJF calling. I just want to get the bad stuff out of the way first, right? I was not a fan of MJF calling Speedball and Nick Wayne twinks. We can use that word. You cannot use that for heat.
I
Fuck
was like,
off.
listen, I for real. I'm like, MJF, I understand you are a marginalized community with you and your Jewish heritage, but there are certain language that is only meant for us. We will gatekeep that from you, damn it. And I'm just
And also, he's using it like to get people to boo him. So like he's using it like not saying it in love, like "Oh, you twink," you know, like he's being a bad guy while doing it. So fuck off with all that shit. But I digress. This was great. Otherwise than that, was it like Speedy doing like the shooting star press to break up the pen was absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. I really like MJF like starting to teach Nick Wayne a few things like, no, you gotta punch him in the stomach, you know, like take all the wind out of him. And he's like, okay, you try. And like Speedy gets out of it eventually, you know. Like I love this stuff, man. Like the more Nick Wayne gets to interact with somebody like MJF, the better, you know, because iron sharpens iron, and Nick Wayne's sort of a dick heel right now, so you don't get much more of a dick heel than MJF. So
I would it's weird to say Max do better, but I was just like, I don't know. But yeah, on
him
yeah,
too.
and
It
I
got
think
me
that's what
angry.
I was you said that. I was like, I'm not expecting him to, but come on, Max. Just be like, anyways, moving
Also,
on.
like
Oops, sorry.
that was it made my little Defy heart happy
Yeah.
seeing Nick Wayne.
Seriously, I need Defy to come back already. I need them to hurry up and figure out what's going on because I want to see, like I said before, I want to see Marina kick all the ass. It's time. It's time. Anyways, Megan Bade and Lena Cross invade the Brawling Birds hideout. Disrespectful, just waste all that alcohol on the floor. Why are these promos not in front of each other? Like, why do we keep doing pre-tape and then fighting after one of them have a match? Spoiler alert for what's to come later, but like, let them talk in front of each other. Or at least like have Renee mediate something, man. Like,
I hate these stagey promos that they were doing with the birds, and most of the time with I think that everybody's fine in their roles. I'm not saying anything about them, right? Like the talents are fantastic. It's just that like it feels stagey and like really cartoonishly camp. Like how would like you just brought a Union Jack in and like hey, good evening, Diggs, BTWW, good evening.
What's up, new friendo? Happy to have you here. Anyways, you were saying, friend?
Welcome in, and like I'm just saying that, like it just seems a little stagey. You brought some Union Jack, and like somebody made you a sign in probably Jack Perry's backyard. But like I like everybody involved. It just feels sort of stagnant, you know.
Like, there's not like the pay-per-view match should be like the climax of like the rising action into it. And I'm not saying that everything needs to be super in depth, but you got 2 weeks. And am I excited to see four like women just go swanging on each other at Wembley? Absolutely. But you're just like, oh, I get, no, I understand. I just want more. But like you said, I think you said it perfectly, Betty. Everyone's good in their roles, but it is just feeling stagnant. And again, I'm going to bring this point up a little bit later. But for now, we move on. Oh, God, I have missed their chemistry in the ring against each other. That is all I have to say.
Oh, you know, I think this is probably the best match that they've had together in AEW, but, like, I think, like, we might have put too much hype on this feud for because like, they're just getting off the ground now, and, oh, man, I can't wait to talk about that. Oh, what was it? Jay White calling Ace Austin Lord Live Squad, right? Like,
I was dying.
now they're doing, like, the bad guy from Dodgeball, like
I love that they don't take themselves too seriously, but then when they
oh,
get
I
in the
love
ring, it's just bangers.
yeah, the last thing I'll say about this one, I'll just keep it brief. That, as I said, this is probably the best match that they've had so far in AEW. But like Jay White is probably the best counter wrestler I've ever seen in my life. Like he's just amazing. Like you can't take your eyes off him the entire time because he's always doing something and he's always up to something.
You know what? I have to agree. Nobody counters like Jay White. It's always so much fun to watch him. Just like it's great stuff. Now, Jay wins. He's moving on to the next round of the Continental Cup, but really fun stuff here. Honestly, it was fun. This match, we hear from the good, the bad, and El Guapo. So I love it. So we hear from our new trios champions. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't think that they would do it again, but Bandito is now Mr. Two Belts, ROH World Champion, and 1/3 of the Trios Champions. It's really hard because, again, like I said last week for Grand Slam Mexico, I wanted the demand to get a little bit of longer run before we keep hot potatoing this title. But I'm not mad at Bandito and Brody King. Give them all the fun stuff. Give them all the good things because I love them. And I love you too, hangers. But here's the important bit, and I don't like to speculate rumors, but I need some crazy shit to happen at Wembley because we get the return of whose house? Swerve's house. So Swerve returns. Him and Nana kind of run down the trios champions. Swerve, I loved you. I've missed you. I'm mad that we didn't get another Spanish promo from Hangman. How dare you? No, I'm just kidding. Very interesting stuff from Swerve as not forgot, but I was like, oh, right. That's right. Swerve has got kind of beef in history with all the three of them. I was like, oh, this is going to be interesting. So this is leading into Swerve finding some folks. I feel like this could go one of two ways. It could be the worst kept secret, or it could be a complete actual, like, no pun intended, swerve of what is going to happen. But I'm like, I think it's like at least a given at this point. Ricochet and the demand come out. Dare I say, I think this is like one of the better promos from Ricochet from him from here. I was like, okay, I it's different. I got you. And then of course Swerve had to undercut him by calling him a bitch. But we are gonna probably get a rematch, the demand and the good, the bad, and the guapo at either before Wembley, at Wembley, don't know. But Swerve is lurking around this too. So I'm like, all right, let's see what happens.
Oh man, I'm looking forward to this. Like it wasn't exact. It was all implied who it could be, so it's like left it open the chance. So us fans can fantasy book in our heads and then get mad when it doesn't happen. So like like one thing I really liked about this was that like when Swerve came out, like he was just like it's all about me essentially, and but like every person he talked to, like this camera shot was perfect. Like, he was talking to Bandito, so Bandito was in the shot, and then he was talking to Brody, and they backed up a little bit, so Brody was in the shot, so by the time that they got to Hangman and it looks like Hangman and Swerve are like nose to nose, and a beautiful camera work here. Beautiful, beautiful stuff, man.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm very interested. and I'm positively excited for what's to come down the line for everyone involved. So please, AEW, please don't mess this up. So I will be cautiously optimistic because I want to give it a chance. That is how we're gonna put it. Moving on. And then hold up, where my soapbox go real quick. Okay, so let me talk about this first and then we'll discuss because I don't know if we'll be on the same page. We might have be a little bit different when it comes to approaches, but I got lots of feelings for this one. So Willow has an interview backstage, talking about her match coming up against Mercedes. Mercedes did not forget that Willow pinned her in Mexico. And then Mercedes is essentially going to make Willow's life absolute hell. And just, she's actually lost the plot and lost her shit and attacked Willow in this one. So I was just like, the spiral continues. And that part I actually kind of dig. Question. I kind of like, I don't want, this doesn't need to be in front of the crowd, but like, I don't know why our women's championship match for Wembley between your big babyface champion and probably one of the better, I don't want to say better, like one of like at least my top 10 women's wrestlers working across the world right now. Like this is where my soapbox comes in. I want this match to be treated with such gravitas. And I love both Mercedes and I love Willow. They're both amazing. And I'm excited to see two black women at Wembley in the women's AEW Women's World Championship match. Like it's gonna be a banger. Absolutely. But because of that, why are we not treating this story and this feud with more grandioseness to it, if that's even a word, an accurate word to use? What like I don't it frustrates me because this is the same template that we use to build up most of our women's championship matches. And for this one, I want something different. Do appreciate the ferocity from Mercedes, but why does it gotta be in a pretend?
Yeah. I'm not gonna add any more to that, except for her name is Mercedes. Get over yourself. You're a loser.
Oh my gosh, this is where the crowd absolutely made me mad too on a side tangent, right? I was like, you fully know, gosh darn well, you are at an AEW show. That ship has sailed, burnt, sunk to the bottom of the ocean. Like we're moving past that, so has she. Move on. I was like, so that was just the icing on the cake of me getting super frustrated. I'm like, Vegas, you're fired. Get out. So
If there ever was a chance to what chant the crowd, that was it, you know?
be like, "What are we doing?" crowd, but also, "Doing Tony." Anyways, my soapbox is over. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I'll finish with this and then we'll move on. So as a final piece to this, I know that in our niche fandom of professional wrestling, it is very niche. And those who are fully invested into this or watch wholeheartedly, like we can all relate to a certain level of degree when it comes to our favorites, right? I'm an equal opportunist. I have so many wrestlers that I consider my favorites. And people are like, you can only have like one or two. No, there's like, I could have a whole entire army of wrestlers if I go right now because professional wrestling is a spectrum. It gives me great matches, death defying moments. There are moments where I'll cry. There's moments where I'll laugh my tuchus off, if you will. Like, and it's because I am so passionate, especially given the platform that we have here. Hello, we've been running this for so long, and we've run on the platform where everyone who is here talking about professional wrestling, we have people of color, people in marginalized and minority communities, different race, creed, sexual orientation, religious affiliations, all that good stuff. And I would like to see that represented more in my wrestling in 2026. So again, two black women are about to head to Wembley. This match is going to be a banger. Please treat it with that level of respect and grandiose to it is all I'm asking. But I'm done. We got more of the show to talk about. Those are my feelings.
I second everything you said.
I appreciate it, Fred. Alrighty, so let's keep this going. So, did I think Jericho was going to win? Actually, for the first time, no, I did not. There's before I would have been like, I don't know, man. There's always a slight possibility. But so far, I'd be like, you know what? I actually can confidently say, I don't think so. I love you, Jet. Kevin Knight, I love you. Nice little filler tune-up match for Kevin Knight, as we all know that him and Darbs are about to hopefully go ham in 2 weeks.
Yeah, Jericho in this graphic thing, I feel like he thinks he's giving D'Artagnan, right, from the Three Musketeers, but, like, It's giving way more Don Quixote. That's enough of that. But this match is fine. It wasn't egregious, and the Jericho looked pretty great in this match. Like I'm gonna give him a compliment because he deserves it. Like he's one of my all time favorites anyway. So like it's hard. It's one of those hard things where like yeah, like you're a piece of shit, but you're also great. Like yeah, he's looked great since he's come back, and, like, I'm digging this, like, he's doing, like, a cover band, like, he's playing his greatest hits, right? And I'm here for that because I lived through all that, so I'm here for it. I've read all 4 of his books, so, like, I understand what's happening. I
No,
understand the
100%.
references.
Yeah, we'll talk afterwards because, like, I not to again, not to peek behind the curtain too much and not to go on a side tangent, but I was just like, we need to talk music too. So, but we'll discuss that afterwards. TNT Championship, Jet retains, figured he would. Darbs at night, 2 weeks. Falls count anywhere. It's about to go ham. I love Viva. I love for politically correct terms, I'm going to say any form of Pacific Islander, Asian, like all the cultures of Eastern Asia, because I don't want to hype her. I love our vampire though. I love her so damn much. And I love that her and Chris fought because I actually really enjoy their chemistry together. I'm not going to get back on the soapbox for so long again, but between what's going on with Willow and Mercedes and how we are hodgepodging the TBS championship scene right now, I'm like, I got questions, Tony. This match was fun though. So I don't want to take that away from them because I like this. I like both of them. Wasn't expecting it to go super long. It was to get Chris this win, but I love both of them.
Yeah, when a band has, like, a preloaded entrance, like, it's like, well, this is going, like, 3 or 4 minutes. Like, I love Viva Man, like, that rolling heel kick that she does, chef's kiss, right? And Stat is always great, like and she got promo time after this, which was nice. I didn't really need to know that Noelle Foley was also in the crowd again, but,
Nick,
it's
I love
nice to
that
see
you're
Noelle, I guess, but what are
I was
we
like, I know
doing?
you're a girl dad, and I can't really say I understand it, but I could kind of get it. But I agree with you. We did not need to know that your daughter was in the crowd. Again,
Hey, look, another woman. My daughter. My daughter's a woman. What are we doing?
listen,
I love you, Nick, but God.
I love you, Mick Foley. I truly do. You are an icon, a legend, and always on the right side of history. Or at least recently, you're on the right side of history. Like, you are here for us, and I love that. But however, comma,
Yeah. Yeah. They gotta figure out what they're doing. Like, put them on commentary at least, or maybe, I don't know, do something. I don't know what it is.
you
But
you know what? I know Renee can't do it all, but like Renee and Mick is actually a really fun team when they do like the pre-show for the
yeah.
pay-per-views. Like I love that. They work very well together. And I'm like I said, I don't want to put more work on Renee, but Renee is the best we got, like in the best way. She's like one of my favorite backstage players across any promotion right now.
Oh, yeah. She's literally, like, morphed into this generation's, like, Mean Gene. Like, she doesn't give any gup, like, she asks the hard-hitting questions, like, "What's wrong with you?" Or whatever,
For
you
real.
know?
But we've seen her do it during pandemic with her
Yep.
podcast, like, and we know she got that journalism background too, like,
Yeah.
Renee, you would never see this, but I want you to know you are it, girl, and me and Benny love you. Like,
Yeah. That Renee, she's good. Wink.
nudge, nudge. Help Mick Foley out because we want him to do great too. No, I love Nick, man. I really do. But I agree with you, Benny. We got to figure out something with him to figure this out. So, anywho, moving on. So, this was kind of a loaded into because we got the promo from Chris. We find out there's going to be a fatal four way tomorrow night on Dynamite for Maya World's TBS Championship. That involves her, the CMLL Women's World Champion, Persephone, Kadoshida, and Chris. So, we have those four. And then here we got a repeat of a tag team match that happened literally on Collision last week, but we substitute Hyann for Thunder, the women's Mexican national champion, might I add too. Again, Thunder, I love you, but this dancing is crunchy, but I kind of like. It's like if that's gonna be your thing now, crunchy dancing, I'm kind of here for it, girl. Again, I don't have a lot to say about this match. The point, like, see, our show from last Thursday is exactly how I feel about this. It's 3 out of the 4 of the same players. It was fine enough. I do like that Persephone and Sheeta could not coexist in this one. It just makes me mad because the promo we got on the social medias was so much better of a build and a lead into what we're getting tomorrow night. than what we saw afterwards. But it is what it is at this point. We copy and pasted, but this time Maya and Thunder are victorious. Chris comes in for the save afterwards, and we get a fatal four way next week. So I'm like, okay.
This was fun. I like Percy and Sheeta. I like their banter back and forth. I like them a lot. I like everybody involved. Like I just wasn't. I this wasn't for me. I guess
And that is okay because,
it's
like I s-
none of their own fault. But why should I care? Like there's no build here. Like it's just you're all
no,
gonna
I
fight until something boils over, and then you'll put a title on the line.
And I'm not saying you're wrong because I actually I 100% agree with you too. I was just like, I literally saw this match last week. I'm like, I could do without it, to be honest. I love them, but honestly, I could do without this match too.
So we don't usually do can they coexist tag teams, right? Like in AEW. Like and why do we do it for the women? Like everybody's so boiled down to like their basic like tactic, their basic characters right now. Like who outside of like Maya winning the TBS title, who is she? Like and I mean that nicely, you know?
No,
Like
I 100%. S Because and here's the thing, right? And we kinda talked about this leading into Redemption and, like, even the Owen Hart too. Like, God bless Maya because I can't imagine having all that happen in your own life, like, her brother dying and, just, like, you're, like, so close to everything and just the amount of and, even coming in to still wrestle and do your job despite, not really grieving about it, because I was just like, that takes a certain level of strength that I may or may not be able to have. I can't say because I haven't been in that situation yet, so I don't want to compare. But I got frustrated with the way that they kept presenting Maya because in a weird way, they kind of not glorified, and Benny, maybe you can help me with the correct word, but that's all they talked about during the Owen and even going into Redemption too with her TBS championship match. I was like, this girl has been through a lot. I was just like, yes, she has. And I don't want to diminish that tragedy because losing someone in the immediate family is awful. And I can't imagine the amount of pain and heartbreak that entails. But when that is all you make, when that is the only talking point that you make for Maya, talk about how she's a student of Athena. She's been wrestling at her school for 3 years. She's, had matches against the XYZ person on the indies. Like, she's young. These are who her inspirations are. They have kind of they have like tragedized, and that's not a word, but they used Maya's tragic situation as a baseline for her story, and they gave her nothing else. You have to balance it out because I love Maya. I want to see her continue to grow and do great things. But to me, I want her to be more than the her brother died, character. Like I want to be like she's Athena's student. She's resilient. She has aspirations. These are the people she looks up to. Give me more of the personal Maya, not the wrestler. I wanna know her more intimately.
we gotta
Respecting
talk
boundaries.
but we gotta talk about the C3 more, you know? So everybody's boiled down everybody else is boiled down to basic characters, you know? Like Thunder. This is probably Thunder's first match in
A
a while,
while.
right? So and they're just like, oh yeah, she's down in CMLL. She's like the women's champion down there. Like it's like she's also here, you know.
Guys, like, talk about how she's a former women's champion. And, like, I don't know what the whole situation is, but we steered away from she knows how to have hardcore matches, like her versus Britt Baker, I was just like, I don't know what's going on with
Oh
that
yeah,
whole
the
thing.
Deanna one was great too.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Deanna match she's Thunder has had really great opponents and matches
Mm,
and feuds, but, like, commentary has not is not doing a good job enough for me.
yeah. Commentary, we're gonna get there in a few minutes. Actually, put over something that was pretty great later on. So
Just not the women, but okay. Sorry, I don't wanna be petty Betty, but we'll keep it pushing because I don't wanna be here all night because that's not fair to you. Anyways, let's keep going. Darbs, I love you. I truly do. These promos are fine. I do appreciate that you were proud of your championship run, and so were we. Honestly, your championship run this year was so much fun, and it showed that you don't have to have a 4-year reign and traumatize me of running through a roster like 10 times.
Cena.
Well, here's the thing. Like Athena's starting to get there. And again, he's not in this promotion, but I have PTSD from Roman Reigns. That is my all-time offender. 4 plus years running through every man on that roster like 4 or 5 times. I was just like, but Athena's getting there too. I was like, she could drop the title now. She has nothing left to prove. Put her on AEW television like permanently, but they haven't built anybody else up in ROH. So, anyways,
Yeah, this I could see how Darby dropped out of film school, you know? That was just a joke, but, I like Darby. I
I
just
know it was, but damn, I was trying not to laugh so hard. I was like, oh my God, that is brilliant.
the thing is, right, we're gonna sound like we're bitching a lot tonight, but, like, there wasn't enough of a break between when he got, like, at Double or Nothing and when he came back, like, a month later, and then, like, he came back to the same feud, and, like, the same feud, by the way, has not been playing out on television. It has been playing out in these awful vignettes of Darby rambling in front of trains and, like, in back alleys, like, I don't know what's happening. There's no story here. Like, but you know what? Stephen Borden Jr. was named on television this week for the first time ever. So there's something in there.
But I'm like, there is so much they could have done, honestly. So I still think that we should have had Speedball and Kevin Knight feud all the way to Wembley because that is different and that has legs. But whatever.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I mean. Like, why are we why did we go back to Darby and Jet so fast? Like,
We could have or
w
at least
we
given us
still
a
have
triple threat. Like
we have speed. You could have gone to Ciampa. Like, there's a whole bunch of people that could be lining up for that TNT title. But the former champion is, oh my god, never mind.
oh my goodness. Darbs, we're gonna come back to you on Collision too, but we're not gonna spend too much time on you when we get to Collision too. Moving on. The girls are fighting. And actually, kind of, I agree with Kyle Fletcher's point. Don, I know you're supposed to be oblivious because this is your familia, this is your family. But there has to be a level of critical thinking and grounded reality when it comes to this. And we're talking about grown men who are wrestling in shorts and pants and oiled up bodies. Like, take it with that as you will. But Kyle Fletcher has points. He's just like, bro, what is happening? I know I said I wanted a triple threat, and I'm still excited for the triple threat, but we actually could have pivoted and it just be a one-on-one. I kind of feel bad for Takeshita because he was killing it in the G1 this month. But now we got 2 weeks left and we're gonna shoehorn this poor kid back in.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I think this should have played out on TV, like in the ring. Like, have, like, another proto kata. That's what it was. I was saying it right the whole time. Have another, like, kata match where, like, they break down, right? And then, like, have, like, Takeshita on the other side, and then, like, do all this other stuff. Like, it doesn't like, this was really lazy booking. Like, yeah, like, you're gonna be facing Takeshita, and guess what? You're also gonna be facing Kata. And it's like, "Okay, yeah, we all figured that, but you let it play out a little bit more." Like, the G1's over, you could have waited a week, like, "Bro, what are we doing?" But you know what? I don't book it, so whatever. But I love Kata in this, not to get down on all
Oh
of
my
it,
god.
like, he was so great. Like, man, I love this version of Okada. Like, he's just so great, man. Like, we know he's gonna turn it out at the pay-per-view, right? And, like, just let him be a character on television. Like,
Seriously.
what
Well, no, and it's not even complaining, Benny, because this goes with everything. The wrestling itself is going to be an absolute banger. That's why I shell out money for these pay-per-views because I know the wrestling in ring is going to be great. It's going to be fun. There might be one or two stinkers or some lulls, but AEW this year has been consistent of giving us really good pay-per-views and great pay-per-view matches. The wrestling is fantastic. Now it's time to even out the scales is how I'm putting it now because the bangers are always going to be banging with these matches. But you run 2 weekly television programming. So we need to start. And ironic that we talked about Darby dropping out of film school. But you are two wrestling television programs that air on Wednesday and Saturday mostly. You need to start investing into what that product looks like on the TV screen from character development to storytelling. Backstage stuff needs to be set up more properly. We are too far year into the tenure to go by the seat of our pants, guys. We are a legitimate company now. I'm not saying that you need to be a corporate about it, but like we got to start balancing out the scales. Okay, wrestling's fantastic. You also have a television show that airs twice a week with Dynamite and Collision. We gotta start investing in that is all I'll say.
Yeah, moving on.
Moxley, I love you. Perry, you know what? I'll give you this. Like, you actually put to you went Moxley gave you belt to ass, but you did the work this week. So I'm gonna give you one of these, Perry. Usually I can love you or leave you, but I'm gonna give you this week because you put in the work and you were bloodied and belt to ass this whole match. Like, best match you ever had in your career in this company. And Moxley, yes.
Yeah, I think if this match was, if it was Jack Perry versus anybody else in this tournament, I don't think it would have been this good. Like Mox really carried him in this one. Like I'm not saying that he didn't, pick up his pace, pick up his end of the deal, right? Because it was a great performance by Jack Perry at Jack Perry's level. Like he's just not on Mox's level. I'm sorry, he's just not.
He got a lot of work to put in. Like, you got a lot of work to put in. But yeah, Moxley and moving on. That was Dynamite. So let's get into Collision, which was taped in Vegas. So I already said my piece about this crowd. Let's keep going because I also have questions.
This
Now,
crowd got crappier as it went along. That
I was
was
so
there for 4
pissed.
hours,
I was pissed at this crowd, but that's all. I'm done talking about the Vegas crowd, but not really. But also, I'm gonna try my best, but no promises. AEW World Trios Championship: The Good, the Bad, and El Guapo versus the Lethal Twist. I was just like, okay, like I'm not mad.
I really love this match. Like I was a really big
I
fan of
did
this.
too.
I actually like I had zero expectations for it because like it's like, well, who's gonna win, you know? But like they made me forget that a few times, you know? And that's the magic trick. That is professional wrestling. And the swirl, I was calling the twist. The swirl, like they are really gelling right now. Like it is unfair that like this like, it's like the ROH tag division is gunked up, the tag division is gunked up because these guys would be putting on bangers. But, I guess you got to watch MLP for that.
Yeah. So I'm like, ugh, rude. Anyways, so the Good, the Bad, and the Guapo win the championships. Ricochet comes out, and then a beatdown of Brody King. And well, everybody gets beat down in this match afterwards. So it's just like par for the course. Not entirely insane. But yeah, moving on. I knew it was coming. I knew it. I was like, why you gotta do me like that, Tony? Why are we putting the besties against each other in the first round? You know what? I have to say, I love Kyle is non-serious half the time. Kyle O'Reilly doesn't take himself seriously, and I love it. But damn it, Kyle, there may or may not have been at least one or two tears because you got personal here. And I was like, that you have a lot of respect for Roddy. And then, that you guys are facing each other tonight and just gushing over your bestie. And then Roddy says that he expects Kyle to bring it and give it 100%. I'm like, oh, my heart. Why are we doing this in the first round?
Yeah, I watched this match for like 15 years. So let's do it, man.
I was in for some heartbreak later. But I was excited. I was like, I've seen these guys fight all over. Doesn't mean I don't I still love them. Anyways, let's keep going. Now, I had to rewatch this match because of personal reasons. I was just like, the vapors. That is the politically correct term we gonna use because we get demonetized and thrown off YouTube. If I actually said what I was feeling. It had my full attention, is what I will say. Anywho, these two rule. I love these two.
Yeah. This was this was actually better than I expected. Like, only because I don't think the weight that Brian Cage has put on in an off time, like, it really slowed him down, I
Mhm.
feel like. And he's never like an explosive type guy anyways. Like he was always just like he's just really agile type big man that can do agile things. But like he's sort of lumbering anyway, so it sort of works for him, But I still like Brian Cage. He's a great guy, a great wrestler. What can I say about Hetch? Except for what is that meme, right? Like your girl, right? I don't know. I got a crush on him. Let's do this thing.
That's true. Echiseto wins. He is moving on to the next round, which I'm not mad at. So, good stuff. Second verse, same as the first on Dynamite. Moving on.
Oh, but now we're gonna talk about train.
Don't care. Now, this I care about, though. The Rascals are together in the clubhouse. Myron's like, I needed this win, y'all. I was feeling down. Thank you for setting up this match. Zach and Dez are just like, Myron, we hate to tell you this. We didn't set up this match. And then Leo comes in and is like, I set up this match. I needed partners and friends for this match. So here we are. I'm like, please keep these four together. Yes.
Yeah,
Hands down.
this is probably my match of the week. To be honest with you. Well, I take that back. we're gonna get to that. But I love this segment so much, like, especially Byron just being like, "Oh, I know I don't trust you." Like, "No way, man. We've been here before," you know? And I love it that, like, Leo can just fit in with anybody right now because it's just all about how the person reacts to Leo, you know?
Literally, he's like an unofficial member of the conglomeration at this point after like kind of helping out during the cage match after
Yeah,
finish.
I think he likes you. It's fine. It's fine. Oh, man. I've always loved Leo Rush, so, like, this just really warmed my heart, you know, that he's found something like this.
Oh, absolutely. We're going to talk about their match a little bit later, though, because right now, the Divine Dominion is in action. It was just a squash match. Divine Dominion defeated Rochelle Tur and Maserati. Hey, Maserati. I love you, girl. Happy to see you again. And then, of course, like I said earlier, to nobody's surprise, Brawling Birds attack them after the match. Megan avoids getting thrown through the table, though. I was just like, I'm not saying that there needs to be a crazy ass stipulation at Wembley, but a tables match, though, just saying.
Yeah, it should be good old Donnybrook, right? Imagine that word that WWE just made up. Like, but you know, this was fine. There was no hand on it. It's the same old copy and paste. Divine Dominion. Like, I don't mean to be like complain about Divine Dominion like pretty much every week. You know, it's almost like a reoccurring bit on this show at this point. But like, not doing anything, and it's super boring. It's just when you stand up, you will bow down. Choke slam. Good night. Who are we fighting next?
Polite. Well, folks, that's all she wrote.
Yeah, I believe,
Yes, I love it. Let's keep going, though. Oh, in an alternate timeline. And in this one, too.
man, we got some believable technical wrestling this entire weekend, you know? Like between this and then Kyle and Roddy and then like Yuya Uemura and Royhei Oiwa. Oh my god, man. The techers were eating good this week.
Again, in another universe, like, and in this timeline, too. But, like, yes, that's all I have to say. Yes. Nigel wins. He's moving on to the next round. But yes, absolutely.
Yeah, this match
We
went pretty much exactly as I expected. Like it was just like it started on the ground and then ended with just a quick roll up. Like there was some strikes exchanged and stuff like that. But like I was like, this one is just gonna be like just straight graps. You know, there's two older gents, but like they're both really great at mat based wrestling.
Oh, absolutely. I love them for it. Alrighty. But like I said, Nigel's moving on to the next round. So backstage, Osprey has got to make a tough phone call. He's got to cut, and he knows that his United Empire boys, our brothers, are not happy with him, especially his little brother Callum Newman. I was just like, oh, they're gonna beat his ass tomorrow night. They're gonna beat Will's ass, and I'm actually kind of here for it.
Yeah, especially the way that United Empire has been operating for like the past like 3 months. Yeah, it's not
I
going to end
beat
well for Osprey. And but like, I'm glad we're actually getting back around to it. You know, it doesn't have to play out before Wembley, but like it actually could like it gives Osprey like a little something to do afterwards too. You know, but like I mentioned in the past that like like I think that this story was supposed to play out at like Dominion, but like injuries happen and then G1s happen. So I'm glad we're getting back around to it before the big show.
100%. The Rascals and Leo Rush win, and Tony keep these four boys together, or at least keep them in orbit. And I'm still pushing the agenda to put the trios belts on the Rascals, like actually.
Yes.
That is all.
Yes, please. And find a third possibly like match site to put with the machine guns. Like
Oh,
just so
that's a recipe that's about to absolutely bang.
yeah. I'm sorry, Skyflight just ain't working. Like
Mm.
it's just not working. And for whatever reason it's still going. But like I love Scorpio Sky, but it might be time to motion on down the road, you know?
Well, things that may or may not work, right?
Right, yeah.
Am I bummed?
I was really intrigued by that proposition last week, and I'm still intrigued. I have no idea where this is going, but I'm so here for all of it.
Please let it lead to something, because I was like, "Boys, why are we leaving? Why? No, don't go." But I will say, though, because usually when people leave, I'm like, "Damn it, does that mean we're gonna see them lose?" But no, they did not lose their match. I was like, "Okay, we good." But then again, I was just like, when I saw their opponents, I was like, "Oh, they should be fine." Follow
I'm
up.
hope
That is all I need.
I'm hoping that it leads this is just me fantasy booking wildly, but I hope it leads to Shelton Britt leaving.
So let's keep going. Zeta, girl, love you downs. But this goes back to what I was saying earlier in the show. I was just like, this match was made because Zeta has said she lost all respect for Mercedes. I'm like, girlfriend. What? I was like,
To borrow a phrase, lazy booking. Sorry, I was leaving it there open for you, but
No, it's okay. I'm just, like, trying to collect my thoughts and wrap my hand around it, but Zeta girl, love you downs, but I was like, "Ugh." Mercedes and Zeta go back and forth. Well, not really, but kinda, but not really. Mercedes wins is the most important part.
like 80-20.
Yeah.
It's very much like 80-20. But, like, Zeta's great, man, and she's only been wrestling for, like, 4 years, so it's incredible how fast she's come along. Like,
Mhm.
those trips to stardom and trips all over the US and the indie scene have really, really helped. "Hey, look at that." That's help, I guess. I don't know.
Who knew?
That's just what I hear. But the only thing I wanna say about this one is that Paul White really had a great moment during the Mercedes and Willow interaction. I
Mhm.
love a screaming giant. Like, Paul White has this he
I
gets
really
so
enjoy him on
excited.
commentary. I've actually really enjoyed him, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, last week it was a little bit rough. It was like, "Paul, I don't need a story time right now in the middle of this match." But, like, this week he's, like, shortened it up, and it was, really great. Like, he was a great addition.
Yeah. So Mercedes wins. She attacks not only Zeta, but she also attacks Christopher Daniels too. Willow comes out for the save for both of them. And yeah, just we pushing it along to Wembley. So I mean, I said all my piece on it.
I like the last the outline on Willow there, like, "I'm still smiling, bitch," and, like, he's
See
so
what
great.
they do. That's all I need. Just do it in the arena. Like we don't need to do pre-tapes, but I digress. Moving on. Of course, this needs to be a little bit grayscale to give the fact that we try not to get demonetized for blood. But Swerve literally. So basically, this could be summed up as Harry needs to start fighting people like Moxley because iron sharpens iron. Swerve is just like, I see where you're going with it, but you haven't beaten me. You haven't been in the ring. You haven't been with killers like me. I was like, ooh. I'm like, but true.
The only thing I got out of this was like, "We're really doing this, huh? We're really doing this? Alright. You're gonna take me kicking and screaming, but, like, we're doing this."
I was like, "All right, whatever." So, moving on. Just I tee-heed and ha-ha. Like, don't care. Yes. Hands down, yes. Just
Kenny
more
had
of this, honestly.
Kenny had one of the funniest lines that he's ever said in this entire pro segment right here, right? He's like, "The Death Riders are the skid mark of the on the underwear that is my life."
I was like, I was done. I was done. I was like, "Way to get graphic there, Kenneth. Thank you so much for that imagery."
I literally had to pause it for a second because I was, like, dying laughing. Like, I did a good old belly laugh out of that one. And again, right now. And I like where this is going with Cope and Christian and the Young Bucks because Cope was a little bit of a dick in this.
He was. He's just like, yeah, because okay, so basically so when Cage and Cope come in, this could be boiled down to as like Cope is losing hope in the Young Bucks and that they're not ready to face them at all in. I'm like, wow, you're kind of being a dick, but I'm kind of here for it. Matt tells, our champs that they're old and are old enough to be their father. Christian says, how do we know we're not? And Christian leaves and tells Cope, let him know when you're done trusting them. Like plot development, folks, plot development. There it is. Moving on. My heart. But yes, yes. Hands down, yes. Have I seen them fight multiple times before this? Yes. Do I care? No. Did I enjoy this? Yes. Hell yes. Is that a question? Like, just they get double these.
Yeah.
There's nothing more I can say. Like, fight forever exists between these two.
Yeah, they actually said I think the crowd started chanting "Fight Forever" during this one, and I was like, "They have been." Like, these 2, and what else can I say? Like, like, these are what can I say about Roderick Strong, right? Like, is ever a machine, and Kyle O'Reilly is ever the goofball, but once he's gets serious, oh, man. Like, watch out. Like, there was a moment, like, I don't think this match went outside the ring. It was all just, like, mat wrestling and striking, and, like, then it broke down into bigger moves, but, like, literally, the only thing I have on this match on my notes is, "What a maneuver." That's it. Like, I did like
I
the little wrinkle of Roddy getting mad at the end and pushing.
frustrated, pushing him, and then they hugged it out as best friends and lovers do. These two are wrestling soulmates, honestly, and I'm here for it. Like, yes. This was my favorite Collision match this week. And that was tough because we got some good graps on Collision this week. Like, I really love this Continental Cup. I was just like, I'm like, it's fun. I'm a little bit sad though because Mox and Jay White are fighting this week, and I'm like, No, that was my final. I was like, "Oh, why you gotta break my heart, Tony?"
Yeah, that was a lot of people's final, right? Like, and myself included last week, I thought Jack Perry was gonna knock Mox out in the first round, right?
Mm.
But maybe we had to wait a week.
Well, we'll see what happens because, like I said, like, I mean, I'm still pretty sure Moxley's making it to Wembley, but again, Imma be so for real because of we know a lot about Moxley. Moxley's not the type of person to throw a fit if he has to lose before to the finals, but from a business standpoint, putting Moxley on a pay-per-view is always gonna guarantee views and, like, people wanna buy it, right? But I don't know, man. I didn't think that they would like when we started the C2. I honestly didn't think they would have Eddie Kingston become the inaugural champion, and lo and behold, they did. So AEW can pleasantly surprise me, but I'm like, no, Fox and Jay was my final. But honestly, though, it's gonna be a good match, and I'm so excited nonetheless.
Yeah.
But
And then it's actually, I looked it up yesterday. It's actually their third ever singles match. They've only faced each other twice in a singles match. What?
So yeah, great main event, really fun collision. And that brings us to the end of AEW. Ooh, for all of you Spanish speakers out there. Anywho, like I said, we want things to be better. We love this for AEW. Like, just again, you have 2 television shows a week. Start investing in the television side of things. And like, I'm not saying you have to be fully scripted, but get people who know how to frame shots because the camera work is getting there. It's like, yes, the in-ring camera shots are glorious. Now let's do the camera shots for the backstage stuff. And like, if you got to set up some things, please do. Like, let's consult some people who are working in TV to help you. That's all I want. And then if y'all invest in that, like, honestly, the world's your oyster, as the kids say, I guess. Like, but still some really good stuff. Again, in ring is always going to be great. But now let's start polishing some things up. So we can go from diamond in the rough to a nice little pearl. I guess I don't know. I don't know my jewelry, you guys. I'm a horrible gay. Anywho, Coco Chanel would be mad at me. Anyways, but that's it for AEW this week. We got a Dynamite and Collision happening this week. We'll be back next Tuesday to talk all about it. So yeah, as always, I'd like to thank Benny for being here. I appreciate him. I loves him. And he is my right hand man in all things AEW. So, but we still got lots of things coming to you this week. Tomorrow night, we got NXT and CMLL. And then Friday, we have TNA, where we will be doing our predictions for TNA Lockdown, as that is happening this weekend. Guys, we are inching ever so closely to freaking all in Wembley. So on the AEW side of things, though, next Tuesday will be technically our go home show because then that weekend will be all in, which is saying that we're almost there, Benny. We're almost there. Next Tuesday will be the go home show, which means we'll be doing predictions for all in. But yeah, it's going to be fantastic. I am so excited. It's going to be some good stuff all the way around. It's going to be so much fun. But we got to get out of here. Thank you so much for tuning in to our AEW post show. You know where to find us. From all of us here at BC WrestlePod to you at home, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, stay biconic, and more importantly than anything, you always deserve to finish your story. We'll catch you next week for our go home edition of AEW. But until then, and until next time,
thank you so much for tuning in to another Vibe Tribe production. What's gonna happen next time? Well, you're gonna have to tune in to find out. But until then, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, and as always, make sure that you keep the good times rolling. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you next time.